welcome back to another video, everybody. Today I have a short video showcasing something that I purchased recently. It's from a company called Brigade Models in the UK. Don't ignore all the cat feet. We've doubled our cat party in the last few weeks, and it's a handful. But it's a company called Brigade Models in the UK, and it's the range of aeronaf. Sort of like battleships in the sky, floating battleships. I see it every so often at a convention here and there. There'll be people playing this type of a game, and it always intrigued me, but I never really liked the look of the ships. And I was intrigued by the release of the rule set Monsters in the Sky, which I don't have yet. I have ordered it, but it hasn't arrived. And I was intrigued because the ships that float in the sky, they look like World War I or early World War II battleships and cruisers just floating around in the sky, and that I really like because I'm a real sucker for World War I dreadnought battleship games. So the years past models that I've seen for aeronaf looked very, very poor in my opinion. Obviously people have different tastes, but I never liked the look of them. And when I seen the Monsters in the Sky book, the illustrations in it just had me like, wow, I really would want to try that. And I do have, where is it? I do have models that float in the sky from, what was Spartan Games? Dystopian Wars, the original Dystopian Wars. The French fleet had floating battleships, which I have here somewhere. I don't know where he went. Oh yeah, here he is. So, Dystopian Wars had these French ships. Now, I like the look of this ship because it looks like a pre-dreadnought, kind of like a pre-dreadnought battleship. And, you know, I like the full hull on it, like the curved hull. And I bought a whole bunch of these. And I was going to play the Monsters in the Sky game with these ships. Just because I really wanted to use them. I really love the look of the design of these French ships. Like the cruisers and the destroyers and stuff for this game, for this French fleet from Dystopian Wars, they don't look as good to me, but this particular battleship, I'm not sure what it's called, it looks the part for me. Now the game Leviathans, which I have a video on previously, it also has floating battleships, which I like the look of, but they kind of look like little chibis of battleships. You know, those little, oh, here's my kitten, hello. Hello, Jellico. Apologies for the cat camera here. The Leviathans games, they take a battleship hull and they kind of like squish it smaller, like they make it like 80% of the proportions it probably should be, so it doesn't look long and sleek and cool. It looks kind of fat and chubby. I could use them, but I didn't really want to. So I started looking on the internet for different versions of aeronaf ships or floating battleships, or even going on like scale modelers websites and buying ships, like actual like 1/600 scale ships or 1/700 scale ships that you have to build that have the hull intact on the ship. So not waterline, but the whatever it's called when the entire hull is there. But I couldn't find that much. And then I went to Brigade Models. And they had tons. I mean, I'm super impressed with this website, how many different factions this website has for floating ships. Like England, France, Germany, Japan, Austria-Hungary, Chile, Scandinavian countries, Russia. It goes on and on. Switzerland. It goes on and on. Brazil. There was just so many. And when I first clicked through all the options, like, oh, what the British ships look like? Oh, they look like kind of weird triangles, or oh, the Austro-Hungarian ones look kind of terrible. The Russian ones are weirdly round. I didn't like them, so I quickly passed over it. But my search ended really quickly because there isn't hardly anything out there for this kind of game. Like, and I understand it's a niche thing. It's a niche within a niche within a niche. But you know, you'd think you'd find a few things, but there wasn't. Anyway, I went back to Brigade Games and I purchased a British and French starter fleet, or a grand fleet, for this game. And, you know, about a month later from the UK shipping, the things came in. It was $100, or you see $102 there. It came in, and I opened it last night, and I was blown away, like literally blown away by the quality of the models and now the look of the models. And all of a sudden this morning, I just can't help myself. I need more. Have you ever had that instance where you buy something just to see what it looks like and you're just like, wow, that is amazing. And then you get addicted to them? Well, I'm just going to show you what I have and what the models look like in case you have not purchased this stuff before or you're interested in it or whatever. So here we go. I got 2 packs here. What's this? This is the British pack. They kind of have more triangle shapes, and then you have the French, which are more rounded. I also bought, well, you get the flags, or the little ensigns, and then I bought a bunch of fighters and bombers. I'll just show those off in a second, but we'll just get that out of here. We'll just get that out of here like that, and here we go. So I want to show you the British first, to be honest. Now I've already opened the bag just to review them before this. I always try to make sure my videos have a point. Well, that's a lie, but I try my best to make worthy content to have on the internet. So this is a British battleship. Now there's several different types on the website. We'll just take this one out here just to show off. We'll move that aside so it's not blocking the camera. So these things don't come on there. They come off. These are the turrets. So this is the hull of the ship. So this is the bow and this is the stern. Now the stern has this little flying fin, which kind of goes on here. My cat's going to jump off it. Uh-oh, he's not happy. The kitten's using his litter box. That's bad news. So it goes on there, and I wish I had blue tack to show you, but kind of looks sort of like that as it flies around. Now, the resin hull itself has tons of little porthole details, like the bridge has these big square windows, and the sides have these little round portholes. Now, the bottom, of course, it's a resin. You have to sand off all that imperfection there, but that's nothing that a piece of sandpaper and some soft rubbing wouldn't fix. But I was so impressed that you can see the individual decking lines. Like, that'll take a wash really well. Now these, I don't know Brigade models that well, but I think these are like their second generation models, whereas the original generation models they had similar style, but they were maybe a little bit more basic, where the turrets and the guns were cast on and they look kind of flat and you can't move them around, have them pointing out different directions. So I think, based on what I'm looking at and what I've seen, is that they are essentially, Brigade models are upgrading or updating every single model that they have, and they've gotten through quite a few. I think. I don't know if that's official or not, but for some reason there is a very stark contrast between some of the fleets and some of the other fleets. So for instance, the British fleet, the French fleet, the German fleet, especially the newer ones like the Paraguayans, the Chileans, and the Spanish. The Spanish have an amazing looking fleet. It looks so good, so jealous. Mainly being a Royal Navy guy. And then you get to, there's, what one did I look at that was like really basic? Italy. Italian ships don't look near as nice. So I'm assuming they're updating them. But anyway, I digress. Then you get these little like white metal cast funnels. And what really impresses me is that they fit in, like, you've seen them. They fit in so snug, you barely need any glue. Like, oh, well, that proves me wrong now, but there's one, he's not coming out. Was that this way here? You know what I mean? Like, it fits, they cast so well, and then the turrets too. Like, the turrets, I was thinking of maybe I'll magnetize them, but I don't like going through all that extra bother, but to be honest, they don't come out. You can turn them and have them any way you want. Like, I know that's a dangerous game. You're all saying, I mean, glue them in. Who cares? And I probably will glue them in, but I just couldn't get over how nice the models were, how clean. Apart from the rough edge. Like, who cares really about that? You can sand that off. Then you have the little like thing that comes in here. Now that has to be glued in, it's not going to stay in there like that. But I was really impressed. So the Grand Fleet for the British comes with 4 battleships, 2 different types. There's 2 of this type. I'm not sure which one it is. It's either the Benbow or the Agincourt. And then there's 2 of this type here, slightly different. And I'll just take these off for now so you can see the different hulls. So one has this open bit in the middle and one's kind of closed off. This one has what looks like a 4 turret system, whereas this one has a 3 turret system, 2 in front, 1 in the rear. So there are differences. No, I hope I didn't screw that up. The 3 turret one is this bag. Okay, there's 3 turrets in that bag and there's 4 turrets in this bag. So that's you get 2 of each of them. So here's the second of those. Then you get some heavy cruisers, and these I think are called Exeter. I'm just going to put this stuff away here. I'm not going to bore you with that. I'll be back. Okay, sorry about that. So you get the battleship. You get 4 of them. You then get 2 of these heavy cruisers. These are, I think they're called Exeter heavy cruisers, and they're cast in white metal. And I have not seen, I don't collect that much white metal miniatures anymore, all plastic or resin. But apart from a little bit of filing the corners down, this is one of the cleanest models I think I've ever seen for white metal. So just to compare the size of the hulls, here is the... Now, don't forget, there'll be the fin at the back of the battleship. So you can see the size difference. It also comes with these little secondary turrets, a bunch of main turrets, and then obviously the little, I don't know what the little tripod or the masts. So I'll just leave those there. Then we have I think these are destroyers. Now, I'm not a professional at this, so you have to forgive me here, but you have the little destroyers, and they look like light cruisers to me, but I mean, they're fairly beefy. Again, really clean model. A little less clean than the other one, but there's just something about them that they have so much character. I actually really like them. And from going through the fleets, every fleet seems to be a totally different design, like a totally different style. Like the Russians, like you could not mistake a Russian battleship for a British battleship or for a French battleship or for an American battleship. They're all totally different. Hey, Jellico, you're looking at your command ship. Which one are you going to choose? You going to choose to eat the bag? You're a destroyer captain, are you? Nah. You love that destroyer for some reason. You can't eat that, you big Egypt. Get down. Sorry. So yeah, you get 3 of them in the set or in the fleet. So you get 3 of these destroyers. Actually, I'll leave him out so you can see the size difference. So you get 3 of them, and then you get a bag full of little ships. Like, I'm not sure. To me, these look like destroyers, but they're frigates, or I'm not sure what they are. You get this one here. Come on, focus for me, you bugger. I am terrible at this stuff. You get this one here. It's got 2 dual turrets. Really nice, really clean again. And you can see the size difference. So you have battleship, heavy cruiser, destroyer, 1 type of frigate. You get 3 of them, or 2 of them. No, you get 3 of them. And then you get 3 of these much smaller single barrel dual turrets. I'm not sure what they are. They're steadfast or something. And you can see the size again. Now you get 3 of them, 3 of them, 3 of them, 2 of them, and 4 of them. And that, for, I don't know what it was, $50 Canadian, whatever it was, that's really nice. I'm really impressed. I'm just going to tidy up a little bit here, all the loose pieces, and then I'm going to move on to the French. But hopefully that gives you an idea. It also, there's a certain style in the British ships that is consistent throughout all of the different scales or sizes or classes of ship. And from what I've seen, every fleet has that kind of thing. Some nations like Turkey, for instance, they do that clever thing where they also have a couple of German-looking ships. Makes sense. But I'll be right back and we'll look at the French. Okay, so now this is in front of us here. We have a French battleship. This is, I think this is called a Lore or a Lore or something like that. And I was originally wanted to do British versus Germans, you know, the whole World War I theme. But I liked the look of the French battleship so much that I changed my mind. And I'm just going to show you the hull here a little bit and just show how clean the detail is on it. You know, there's a little blemish right there, but no big deal. That tearing noise is my kitten trying to get up on the couch. And you can see where, oh no, they all have that little notch. That's weird. Maybe that's on purpose. But you can see where there's how this is going to be covered in guns. Like it has 1, 2, 3, 4 main turrets, and then 2, 4, 6, 8 secondaries. And I just love the look of it. So cool looking. Now its fin, whereas the British have kind of like a square fin, they have this kind of, I'm not sure what shape this is called, but it just fits in so nice. Like there's barely a seam there that needs filling. I know there is, but I mean you can see how clean that fit is. Like that is, I'm blown away by that. Again, need some sanding, but no big deal. But again, we'll go, they give you turrets. So let's see, let's put a turret on this. There's one of the turrets. You get the side. Now I think I'm putting these on the right way. I might not be. Maybe that goes the other way around. Maybe the big turret goes on top with the single and the second on the bottom. Yeah, that's probably it. Like that. You know, there you have the turrets on it. Now you have all these little ones, which I'm not going to bother putting all these little turrets on and stuff, but you also have the smokestacks, and I think there's 4 of them that go on along the edge there, or along the top. And then you have the bridge. I believe this is the bridge. The bridge kind of goes on there, maybe. I don't know. I haven't put them together yet or seen it. So I think that's how that goes on. Sort of, what a mess. What a professional I am. I think that goes on kind of like that. Anyway, I'm embarrassing myself. But anyway, here's the French battleship hull. Now they also have another battleship, which is quite a bit smaller, called a Messana. And here it is. You can see the size difference. It's quite a bit smaller. And what looks like is this is not near as powerful as maybe other nations' battleships. It only has 2 main turrets and 4 small turrets. But it also has its little fin for keeping it in the air, and it fits in like that. Again, it fits in perfect. Like barely a seam at all. I'm so blown away by that. It also has its superstructure, which kind of just fits in there like that. Like that's really cool. Now you can see as you start building the things, it starts taking the shape of a ship. And then you'll put the turret in there, blah blah blah. Everyone knows what's happening. Anyway, it's really nice. What they do really cool, actually, one more thing. What they do really cool with this design is they give you options for what kind of ship you want. You can have the dual barrel turrets, or you can have the single barrel turrets, and then it must change the stats on the ship somehow. You can also change the layout of the smokestacks. You can either have a two smokestacks, or I can't remember. You have to go on the website yourself and check it out. But there's something with this Messana ship where you can have you can make 2 or 3 different variants of actual ship out of the same hull, and it's got something to do with the turrets and the layout of the funnels. And in the bag, I got 2 of the same type of piece, conning tower piece, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm assuming you can have 2 funnels or 1 funnel, and 2 masts or 1 mast. And there's Jellicoe again, hogging the limelight. Yeah, but that's really cool to me. I really love the look of that. The cat is really upset with me because I keep putting her on the floor again. She works so hard to get up on the table, and then all of a sudden she's down again. She's not happy. So if I scream out in a minute, you'll know I got bit. Anyway, I'll just leave that there. And now there's 2 of those in the box also, I should say. There's a second one in the bag. You get 1 of these and 2 of these, in the Grand Fleet at least. And then you get 1 more major ship. and that is a battlecruiser. Now I can't tell, there's the hull sizes are very, very, very similar in size. But other than that, they're a totally different, well, not totally different, but they're a very different layout. This looks like it has room for 2 big turrets and 3 small turrets and 4 even smaller, or 2 large, 3 medium, 4 small. So to be honest, the battlecruiser looks more powerful than the pre-dreadnought or the battleship, this one here, the Messena. This is called a Charlemagne, whatever. French accent, bad. But it is, again, like you get tons of little pieces. You get the fin, the conning tower, the mast, all the rest. You get all that stuff in there, and it just really looks really cool. Now, if you look at the British ship next to them, the British ship will be probably the same size as them. But you can see the French carry a very distinct type of hull, as well as the British carry a very distinct kind of hull. And like I said, I was going to go Germans, but I just liked the look of the French battleships a little bit more than the Germans. Originally, I liked them way more, but the more I look at the German ships, the more I'm actually, wow, they look really cool too. So there's the French 3 main ships. Now we'll move on to the cruiser type ships. Now, I don't know which is which, but you get 3 of this type. It's got looks like a torpedo, to be honest. Not quite as big a fan of this design as I am of the rest of the French. I kind of wish they kept that kind of like bulky instead of this slim looking. But I mean, still looks good. It's got a very British looking tower on it. Like if I can show you. Here's the British destroyer and the French cruiser. Very similar square windows. But other than that, it's really unique. Has these offset guns. Now it looks like the major guns are offset and the small guns on the front. But you get 3 of them. And then you get, I think, 3 or 2 of these. So this is a heavy cruiser, it looks like, or a cruiser, and this was a light cruiser. Almost exactly the same oh my god, I don't look at the camera a lot. Almost the exact same style, but it has a different layout of guns. Looks like they're all small guns, whereas this has 1 small gun, 2 medium guns. This looks like it has 5 small guns in a really cool layout. You can see that there. Now next to a British cruiser, you can see the British one's much bulkier, like wider, but the French one's longer. So I'm assuming there might be a speed difference there, I don't know. And then there's again, the British. You can definitely tell the style differences. Anyway, then you get, I think it is 8 frigates. You get 4 of, is that the British one? No, you get 4, where am I now? Am I in the British? No, I'm on the French. You get 4 of this one, which I'll show you in a second once I grab the other one. And 4 of this one. So this one here we'll start with. It has a very similar design to the rest of the French fleet with that kind of roundish point. And then you get 4 of this one, which I don't know, but it looks very British to be honest. But it's a little longer than the other one. If I can just show you here. It's longer by a nose, by like a point. But yeah, so you get 1 of these big ships, the Lore I think it is. You get 2 of these Messenas, of which you can make them into 2 different types of ship. You get 1 of these battle cruisers, which looks, to be honest, more powerful than a lot of these things. You get, I think, 2 of these cruisers. You get, if I can look at my bag here, I should have had all this information beforehand. You get 2 of them. So here's the second one of those. You get 1, 2, 3 light cruisers and 6 frigates, or 8 frigates, 4 of each type. So there's definitely more French ships than British ships in the bag, but I think I've taken your time up too much. We'll just take a quick look at the fighters and bombers, because I wanted to do some sort of cool, no idea what these are, but here's a whole bag of these things. Whatever these are. Bombers, maybe, who knows. These ones here definitely look like fighters. I bought several bags of these little things. You can see the size difference. Will it show it to you? Man, I suck at everything here. You see the size difference there? Go down the table so you can see for sure. And then I got a couple of bags of these big things. Now these definitely look like bombers to me. I just gotta get them out of the bag here. They come in two pieces. So you've got the top and the bottom, I guess. I don't know how this works. You got top and the bottom, like kind of like that. I assume it's kind of like that. So you got fighters, don't know, maybe small bombers, large bombers. And when you think of them next to I'm looking forward to having a scene where a cruiser is being attacked by a flight of bombers. You know, being protected by fighters or whatever. Just looks really cool. It has my creative juices flowing. I'm sorry this took so long, but yeah, these were from Brigade Models. Check them out. The best thing I can say for them is the models are so clean, so crisp, and the choices you have for style of ship. I wish I bought one of every nation so you could see how different the designs for each nation are. It's truly unique, and it must have been a lot of work, and I can only imagine, you know, the time and effort that this, I don't know if it's a 1-man, a 2-man, 10-man operation must have spent designing all of these ships and trying to make them all completely different. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry for wasting your time if that wasn't for you, but if you're interested in aircraft or battleships or naval combat, this might be for you. Check it out. Just before I give up on this video, I just wanted to do a little bit of an edit here and show you that I've painted up some of the French ships. And it turns out that I think I got a bit of a mispack from Brigade Models. Previous in this video, I mentioned that I said that this was the battle cruiser and this was the Lore battleship and these were Messenas. It turns out that I didn't even get the battle cruiser in the pack. Instead of a battle cruiser, I got a dreadnought. So I haven't painted up here because it's been a day or two since I did the previous part of the video. But I just wanted to correct that I did not get a battle cruiser. Instead, I got a dreadnought. You know, must have been a mistake on their end, because you're not supposed to get this in the Grand Fleet pack. It's supposed to be a battle cruiser. But anyway, just so you know, I'm going to do a showcase later on today and have that video up soon. And again, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again.